Hello and welcome back to Tiny Artist TV. So today is going to be the third and actually final video in our Black History Month highlight series. I decided to combine the third and the fourth video since I didn't do a video last week. Things got a little hectic with work and scheduling just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. But here we are. So today's video is actually going to be a little different. The past two I had picked one particular person to highlight and made the entire video about them. However, inventors are a little unique in that they don't typically just invent one thing. And also in the midst of my research, there were so many just long lists of African American inventors. Like, we have contributed, so not me, I haven't contributed anything to society, but African Americans as a whole have contributed quite a lot to modern conveniences as far as technology and just ease of life and even entertainment. Not entertainment in the realms of, like, you know, music and art, because we've definitely been there, done that, but you'll see what I mean. So I picked a few inventors that I wanted to kind of make into steampunk type characters, and the ones that I don't draw I'll still put at the end of the video so you guys can get a list of the inventors and their contributions to society, because like I said, there are a lot of them and there's no way I'm going to be able to fit like 20 plus inventors into one 10-minute video. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, I say 10 minutes, but we all know this is probably going to end up being closer to 15-20 minute video, so buckle in, kiddos. So I'm choosing to do 5 inventors, and I'm not choosing them based on how many things they invented. More so, I'm kind of going in a semi-chronological order and just who I think would be the most fun to draw. So yeah. First up is Mr. Lewis Latimer, who was born in 1848, and in 1881 he actually worked with Hiram Maxim and Thomas Edison, names you may recognize, and he created the carbon filament, which was used in early light bulbs. I mean, of course they're still used in modern light bulbs, but with us moving to LED. I digress. He invented the carbon filament, which made electricity more affordable and more accessible to the general public. He also worked with Alexander Graham Bell and helped draft Alexander Graham Bell's patent for the telephone. He also invented an early air conditioning unit and an improved railroad bathroom. Next up, we have Charles Drew, who was born in 1904 and is noted as the inventor of the blood bank. So there was back then, a little bit of controversy with how the blood bank was actually run, but I'll get to that when I give a little more information later. But according to thinkgrowth.org, Drew was a physician, a surgeon, and medical researcher who worked with the team at Red Cross on groundbreaking discovery around blood transfusion. In World War II, he played a major role in developing the first large-scale blood bank and blood plasma programs. He also invented the Bloodmobile. How metal is that? Which are actually still used today to safely transport blood. They're like these refrigerated, basically it's like an ice cream truck but for blood, if you want to think about it that way. These are refrigerated trucks that to this day safely transport stored blood to a location where it's needed most. Drew was one of the most prominent doctors working in his field and one of the only African Americans during a time when blood donation was still separated along lines of race. Drew eventually resigned from his position with the American Red Cross over their insistence on adhering to this policy. It wasn't until 1950 before the Red Cross finally recognized all blood as being equal. Our third inventor is Marie Van Britton Brown, who was born in 1922, and even though she was a full-time nurse in 1966, she became credited as the inventor of the modern home security system, or at least what would lead to the modern home security system. She recognized the security threats to her home and devised a system that would alert her of strangers at her door and contact relevant authorities as quickly as possible. Her original invention consisted of peepholes, a camera, monitors, and a microphone, and the finishing touch was an alarm button that, when pressed, would immediately contact the police. Her patent laid the groundwork for the modern CCTV system that is widely used for surveillance, home security systems, push-button alarm triggers, crime prevention, and traffic monitoring. Our next inventor is the first of the two that are still living, so this is where I step into combining this week's prompt and what was supposed to be the last week's prompt with someone being who is currently still alive. So number 4 and number 5 are still alive and kicking. So number 4 is Lonnie Johnson, and he was born in 1949, and he was an aerospace engineer for NASA with a resume boasting a stint with the US Air Force. He also worked on the Galileo Jupiter probe and the Mars Observer project and has more than 40 patents under his belt. He is also currently working on the Johnson Thermoelectric Energy Converted, which is a converter that changes heat into electricity. However, even though he was very clearly someone who had his head in the clouds as far as, like, you know, loving the stars, NASA, the Air Force, being a very influential engineer, apparently he's also a little bit of a fun-loving guy. Because you see, Mr. Lonnie G. Johnson is the inventor of the Super Soaker. That's right, the water gun. According to one interview, the way this toy came into fruition was that the inspiration hit him while he was working on an eco-friendly heat pump and accidentally shot a stream of water across the bathroom where he was doing the experiment and thought, oh, this would make a great toy. He wasn't wrong. Last but not least is Dr. Shirley Jackson, who is also still alive, and she is actually currently the 18th president of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York. Her contribution was that she was the first African American woman to earn a doctorate in nuclear physics at MIT. She received her PhD from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in 1973, and she does have a couple other notable technological contributions to her name. According to thinkgrowth.org, her experiments with theoretical physics paved the way for numerous developments in telecommunication, including the touch-tone telephone, the portable fax, caller ID, call waiting, and the fiber optic cable. So, you have this woman to thank when you see your ex's name pop up on your phone and you don't have to answer it. As you can see, we've done quite a bit for modern technology. And as promised, here is a list of, well, actually several lists of other African Americans and their inventions that I was not able to include in this video just for time's sake, not trying to make this a 45-minute video essay. That's not what we do here. However, I do hope you guys enjoy this video regardless, and I hope you look into some of these names and see that there's, so much more than just George Washington Carver, who, yes, he did have a lot of great inventions, but there are so many other noteworthy names out there that deserve to be looked into. So, once again, happy Black History Month. This is the last video for February, and I will see you guys next month for starting March of Robots. Hopefully I can post a video every week, but until then, see you guys next time. Have a weird day.